Government can, give access to the market by creating, by developing the off-taking system where they will be the off-takers.
Okay.
They can, also get cold rooms for perishable items close to rural areas where these things will not perish. You'll be surprised if you visit Benue. You'll be surprised the amount of, farm produce, fruits that are being wasted, vegetables that are being wasted. You go to Jos, for instance, if you travel, up north, you go to Jos. Sometimes you see these women begging you with basket of tomatoes, fresh tomatoes, because they know storage will be a problem. This is not their challenge in Europe. So government need to fix power. It's so paramount. Government need to fix the market. And when I talk about market, I'm talking about way of conveying products to the market. There are things that, a small business owner cannot handle. Now, on the part of the entrepreneurs, there are off-grid solutions that you can tap into. I need to also mention that funding is a very major problem an average entrepreneur face in Nigeria. The exchange rate, the interest rate rather, for lending is so huge. And no bank is ready to risk their funds on a startup. You need to have what? Records. They want track records. How can a startup have that track records? You understand? So we need conscious mentorship for entrepreneurs so that they will be able to do a lot of things right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, you've talked about, the role of the government as well as what entrepreneurs can do. Let's look at, startups on a broader scale, because you have different sectors when you talk about startups. More often, maybe because of the time we are in at this point, wherein everything is digitalized, among other things, we have your, tech sector, your fintechs, the startups there making headway. We've seen several fintech startups even post, valuations of over 100 million naira, among others. What can other sectors do right that would, be able to match, if not, even if not measure, but at least, come close to what your fintechs are doing in terms of valuations?
Okay. Every sector has their own peculiarity.
Mm-hmm.
And for the fintech, their challenges might not be as enormous as that man that is in the farm.
In the farm, yes.
That has to deal with insecurity. That has to do with, for a fintech guy, his need for electricity might not be as huge as that man that owns a farm. A poultry farm or a fish pond.
Okay.
You understand? So, but one thing that is seen to be very prevalent in the tech space is collaboration.
Yes.
The world is without borders in the tech space. You can be in Nigeria and work elsewhere.
Mm-hmm.
So, networking. People can come into clusters, and instead of doing things, the one-man show is so popular in Nigeria.
Yeah.
People are not ready to collaborate. So, farmers can create a colony where they can, put things together, put resources together, collaborate, and make things easier.
Okay.
For instance.
Okay. We've had instances where, it's easy to raise funds, because funding has definitely been one of the major challenges for startups. But as I said, your techs, your fintechs, and what have you, it's easy for them to raise funds either through a Series A funding or Series B funding round. For other sectors, how do you think they can go about, fundraising?
Now, for other sectors, raising fund, it has to do with how well you can package your product. Product in the sense that you have a great idea, how do you present it? Presentation has always been the bane of, an average entrepreneur. Most times you send proposals to the bank and your figures are not adding
I
up.
don't know.
They easily throw it out. So we should be able to do thorough jobs. We should be able to put in the work. There's no free meal anywhere. Even if people are ready to, stake their money on you, you need to convince them that you are able to do it.
Okay.
So,
Okay, let's look at, I mean, we're talking about way forward now, beyond the issue of funding, as well
yeah.
as, government also creating the enabling environment, not just in terms of policies, but, the necessary infrastructure being in place. For the
Yeah.
part of the entrepreneur now, you're looking at, the various policies that would drive the business. As a consultant, what are the pieces of advice you would give for a startup that needs to get through that dry phase, to something more solid and stable?
Now, for entrepreneurs, you need a lot of resilience. You need a lot of patience. You need to delay gratification. You need a lot of faith as well. You need to believe in what you're doing. You need to trust your process. You need to trust your system. You need to create a system as well, that should be able to run. And you need to get the right team. The best vision given to the wrong people will never deliver. So it's so key. You must work with the right mindset. You must work with resilience, patience, determinations. You must put in a lot, because people are still making it despite or in spite of the challenges.
Okay. Just before we let you go, can you project, I mean, considering how far we've come as a nation in terms of the various startups we've had, as much as the fintechs are the ones, dominating the scene at this point in time, can you give a projection for other sectors in terms of startups and how well we can be in the next, say, 5 years or 10 years in terms of contributing to the Nigerian economy?
Well, for now, apart from the tech space, other startup in other sectors are still,
struggling.
Are still grappling with how to overcome the challenges. They are still trying to find their way through. The advantage the tech space has, is that they can leverage on what's available in other countries.
Yeah.
So if I'm going to project for the other people, because until we get our policies right, I'm not too optimistic.
Right.
I'm not too optimistic. We need to fix the power sector. We need to get our energy sector right. We need to get a lot of infrastructures in place. Then we can begin to talk about improvement. We can begin to talk about growth. Because a lot of business will still die in Nigeria. I'm not a prophet of doom.
You're not a prophet of doom. I understand that. Thank you so much, Emmanuel. For the want of time, we may not be able to take more of your thought, but we appreciate you for being on the show this morning. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Pleasure is mine.